Now let's head to the U.S., where the House of Reps has passed a new Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. The legislation is meant to make the trade deal more effective, and under it, the president will establish a website with information regarding AGOA. It will also encourage embassies in selected countries to promote export opportunities to the United States. Well, AGOA aims to promote and develop stronger economic relationships between the sub-Saharan African nations as well as the United States. Well, Daniel Ringes now joins us in Washington with some insight into this new act. Daniel, as always, welcome to the show. Now, there was some initial fear that Africa would face some difficulty negotiating with the U.S. on AGOA and other trade issues, with, of course, President Donald Trump in office. So what does this decision mean for the future of AGOA?
Well, I think Donald Trump is not hugely interested in sort of undermining or changing AGOA as it's currently written, and which stands in law until 2025. But some in the administration have indicated that there's the possibility, or at least African countries should begin to shift to a more reciprocal relationship, because who knows, after 2025, they may end up graduating some countries, some of the bigger ones like South Africa, very diversified and competitive economies, or they may just decide over time that Africa's grown so much in the next few years that they decide that AGOA is no longer the kind of development tool that they need. But, you know, my sense here is that they still want to have pretty strong engagement with Africa and use AGOA as a tool to get that done, especially at a time when, you know, some sensitive comments have been reported from the White House which haven't gone down so well on the continent or indeed anywhere else.
Quite right, Daniel. Now, the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee says this new bill will certainly make AGOA more effective. Tell us a little bit more about how exactly it's going to do that.
Well, my personal opinion is that the bill as it's written doesn't really change the game very much. What it does is suggest that the administration should set up a better website with information that provides African exporters with much more information about how they can take advantage of the trade-free access to many goods that they could bring into the United States if they so wished. The other thing is to direct embassies to do more to communicate with African traders about those benefits. I think those things are already kind of happening, but I think what this bill does is it signals to African countries and to the administration that this is still very much a priority of many in US Congress, and that they want the administration to continue to pursue this as an important foreign policy and trade tool.
And Daniel, like you mentioned, is this also a signal that President Trump's administration is keen on a stronger economic relationship with sub-Saharan Africa, even after his somewhat hurtful comments?
To be frank, from the very small amount of evidence coming out of the White House about their engagement with Africa thus far, it's unclear to what extent Donald Trump is aware and sensitive to the relationship with Africa at this point. It may be in private that he has very complex thoughts on the matter, but we've not heard it publicly. The US State Department, I think, takes the lead on this, as well as the US Congress has played an important part in maintaining those links over time. But certainly I think that Donald Trump will still maintain a strong interest in Africa, much more filtered through the direction of security. So I think from a trade point of view, in that light, it's important for the US to continue to engage on economic and trade matters. And perhaps as the year goes by, you'll see more voices within the administration look at these non-tariff barriers to trade. So things that African countries can do to improve their access to US markets, and for American companies to improve their access, which includes things like better transportation, less red tape. Those are the really crucial things that need to be focused on now if these countries are going to take advantage of AGOA much more readily and in a much more diversified way, because at the moment, much of it is dominated by commodities.
Quite right. Well, many thanks, Daniel, for those insights. Daniel Ringes joining us there in Washington.